A few weeks ago, I came across this paragraph which really caught my eye. It's from entrepreneur and investor Naval Ravikant. According to his conclusion, great relationships are easy because your value systems line up so perfectly they make you happy being who they are, and you make them happy being who you are. You almost can't break up because it's too good of a match. He also adds, deep down, a lot of bad relationships are power struggles. In a good relationship, each person does what they want and does not try to control the other person. This perhaps is the dream relationship of anyone. Imagine a person who is happy with you just being who you are, and the other way around. Sounds a lot like unconditional love, but even beyond, because you don't love them despite it all, but you love them for all they are and how they manifest. I don't know how this man came to this conclusion, but he's pretty smart and reads a lot. But it's a fairly accurate conclusion and in line with the most robust research when it comes to marriage relationships. The go-to expert in this matter is John Gottman, notorious for his long-term studies on about 700 couples over 4 decades. One of the most famous of his studies is his Love Lab. It was an experiment involving an apartment with a nice view where couples would move in for 24 hours and their interactions monitored from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. The conversations were recorded, their physiological states were monitored, heart rate, endocrine and hormonal changes, blood pressure, and their body language observed. There were 130 couples which were monitored for a year and then followed up for up to 9 years. All the information was then analyzed with them present and asked at different points what their thought process was at the time. The conclusions were staggering. In the end, he could predict divorce with 91% accuracy based on the first 15 minutes of a couple's interaction. Not only did Dr. Gottman identify the signs that lead to divorce, but he also wanted to understand what makes a marriage relationship work. And what he discovered trumps pretty much all the well-intended advice out there that usually falls short. He describes in detail the principles that research shows are at the foundation of a happy marriage in his book, 7 Principles That Make Marriage Work. And in this video, I will intertwine his findings with the first idea in the above quote. The part when they make you happy being who they are, and you make them happy being who you are. It falls in line with the first and second principles, which make for a happy marriage, and that is, first, enhance your love maps. What does that mean? Getting to know your partner's details about their life, about their dreams, their aspirations, their inner world, what's going on at their work, what stresses them out, etc. And actually caring about it. And the second principle is nurture fondness and admiration for this person. That's a pretty tall order for many, isn't it? Sounds like a truly fabulous way of sharing life. Another principle, the seventh, is that strong marriages have a shared sense of meaning. Great relationships are easy because your value systems line up so perfectly. What does it even mean? Is it even possible? Well, it is important to find someone with whom you share similar worldviews and values while maintaining the freedom for and acceptance for the differences. It's important to note here that this shared meaning can be created. Gottman identifies 4 pillars for shared meaning: shared rituals, support for each other's roles, shared goals, and shared values and symbols. When describing the purpose of marriage, Dr. Gottman seems to describe it along the same lines. This is a rather long statement that follows, but it's certainly worth reading. The purpose of marriage, as described by John Gottman. In the strongest marriages, husband and wife share a deep sense of meaning. They don't just get along, they also support each other's hopes and aspirations and build a sense of purpose into their lives together. That is really what I mean when I talk about honoring and respecting each other. Very often, a marriage's failure to do this is what causes husband and wife to find themselves in endless, useless rounds of argument or to feel isolated and lonely in their marriage. So, by maintaining this attitude of respect and admiration towards the other person, this is a deterrent against endless arguments or stonewalling, shutting down, cutting the connection. After watching countless videotapes of couples fighting, I can guarantee you that most quarrels are really not about whether the toilet seat is up or whose turn it is to take out the trash. There are deeper hidden issues that fuel these superficial conflicts and make them far more intense and hurtful than they would otherwise be. One of the principles is overcome gridlock, number 6. The gridlock over seemingly small issues that hide deeper issues. Typically, these are related to past traumatic experiences growing up, and so they become a deeper longing or dream. Seeking to heal those childhood memories will dramatically change the quality of one's relationship and life. And there is more. Couples spend year after year trying to change each other's mind, but it can't be done. This is because most of their disagreements are rooted in fundamental differences of lifestyle, personality, or value. By fighting over these differences, all they succeed in doing is wasting their time and harming their marriage. Instead, they need to understand the bottom line difference that is causing the conflict and to learn how to live with it by honoring and respecting each other. Only then will they be able to build shared meaning and a sense of purpose into their marriage. Here it goes back to Ravikant's idea of having an aligned value system and delight in the other being who they are. Essentially, this is what love is about: honoring and respecting and accepting the other. Furthermore, this in itself has a healing effect, or the most profound healing effect. The healing effect of love is ancient knowledge and now proven by scientific research also. Dr. Leonard Laskow, author and founder of Holoenergetic, has conducted studies on how love and forgiveness can heal even physical diseases. He has found that the structure of DNA can be changed depending on whether it is sent conscious anger or conscious love. Conscious anger, it dies, or conscious love, it heals. Now imagine what happens in relationships where anger and fighting is a constant. Back to Gottman, one curious statement that follows is he says, "It used to be that couples could achieve this goal only through their own inside instinct or blessed luck." Perhaps tapping into this inner wisdom would lead one to the same conclusion, that honoring and respecting each other despite the fundamental differences is the way to go. Does that mean that one should accept just about anything? Of course, we're not talking about selfish, careless, or even abusive ways of being towards the other person. And one of the principles of what makes a marriage work, number 5, is letting your partner influence you. Besides, as people, we grow, we mature emotionally, spiritually, personally, or otherwise we risk leading stagnated lives. Does that mean that these couples don't ever have arguments or don't ever fight? Not at all. Research shows that only 40% of the time do couples divorce because they have frequent devastating fights. More often, marriages end because, to avoid constant clashes, husband and wife distance themselves so much that their friendship and sense of connection are lost. This friendship and sense of connection is what forms the strong foundation for lasting marriages. Gottman goes on to say, rather than creating a climate of disagreement and resistance, they embrace each other's needs. This positive attitude not only allows them to maintain, but also to increase the sense of romance, play, fun, adventure, and learning together that are at the heart of any long-lasting love affair. They have what I call an emotionally intelligent marriage. The more emotionally intelligent a couple, the better able they are to understand, honor, and respect each other in their marriage. This emotional intelligence coupled with similar value systems is what leads to the kind of relational climate when one makes the other happy just by being who they are. Could this be the secret of and they lived happily ever after? Well, this concludes the topic of this video. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts how well it resonates with you and your experience. So please comment below. Thank you for watching this, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take good care.